If someone tempts a person, this does not mean that he will fall. A man should not do what he wants, but Eve succumbed to the serpent's temptation and ate the fruit, after which she herself became a means of temptation to her husband, and Adam also succumbed and ate the fruit. Adam and Eve were punished for their sins and expelled from the Garden of Eden. The serpent was also punished despite the fact that he claimed to have been possessed by the enemy. This act of Adam and Eve brought suffering, pain, struggle, and evil into the world, which we see in our time. It all happened because the devil was able to block their blessings with God forever through someone who could speak to them. In 1 Chronicles chapter 21 verse 1 it says, "And Satan rose up against Israel, and made David take a census of Israel." The enemy forced David to do this, even though it was against the will of God for Israel. Israel was not the property of David, so that he counted its inhabitants. Exodus 30 verse 12 says, "When you number the children of Israel, when you reconsider them, let each one give a ransom for his soul to the Lord when they are numbered, and there will be no destructive sore among them when they are numbered." This suggests that the numbering of people should be carried out only by God and only when He commands. But David did it without God's command, because the devil prompted him, and David did not reject the devil. David made this census, despite the fact that his friend and advisor Job dissuaded him from it, but David was sure that this would become his pride, and the enemy took advantage of this. David wanted to be glorified for himself, not for God, and the enemy took advantage of this to deprive the Israelites of God's blessing and bring down His wrath on them. The devil does not care at all what will happen to those people who go against the will of God. Because of David's actions that he took the census, 70 Israelites died from the plague. This shows us yet again how the enemy works through someone to block God's blessing and will.